Jill is a model citizen. She can't tell no lies. Says how it really is and puts it all online. Oh, she's a model citizen.
Hey there guys, I know this has been a long time coming. I said I was going to do a series of how to model in lingerie videos, but the thing is, when I went to go edit my videos, I noticed a few nip slips, and in hopes of making my brother not vomit, I just thought, on the off chance that he ever saw these, I should just retape instead. So here you are, here is how to model in lingerie, laying down. Now, when you're modeling lingerie, there are a few essentials you should make sure to include in your model bag. The first thing I bring are nipple covers. Not because they're necessarily needed, but because I'm going to feel more comfortable on the off chance something slips off my shoulder, and the more comfortable I feel, the sexier and better the photos are going to be. The second thing I'm sure to include is a razor, because on the last few shoots I've been doing, I've forgotten to shave my armpits on one, I didn't know my legs were included in another one, and it's just better off to be safe than sorry, because you would hate to volunteer your time if you're developing your portfolio and then not get the best photos that you possibly could get. And the last thing is lotion. For lingerie, you want your skin to look extremely healthy and soft and silky, and then depending on where the light is, you might get a beautiful sheen down your leg. So that's what I'd be sure to have on me at all times. But since I'm a tomboy and this is not a real photo shoot, it's just a video, I've got nothing. So you're gonna see everything if I didn't take care of myself and my dry skin. Deciding what to wear for a lingerie shoot can be a little difficult depending on who you're trying to reach out to. Just the same as there's a difference between glamour and fashion, it can also be represented in what you are wearing. So a typical thing that I would feel comfortable wearing for a shoot would be something like this. Now this is what makes me feel most sexy, so that's where I would start on a photo shoot. And if you bring a couple other options, then you can work your way up to there. And for another selection, okay, this is a little less traditional than your classic lingerie, but I feel sexy in it. It's what makes me feel comfortable, and it gives me a little side boob, something to twerk on, something to play with. And what you want to make sure is that if you are doing a photo shoot for trade to print, that you are comfortable and that it is a fair compromise between what both the photographer wants and the model wants. So now that I've shown you a couple variations of what I might select, I'll get into something a little more traditional for the editorial poses in lingerie. Lace, my favorite. Now this is more classic, but what makes it editorial is that it's geared towards women because it's not outwardly sexy. I'm not pushing up my bitties, it's not ripping through my bum hole. So, you know, this is what I feel comfortable in, and that's what the first half of the video is going to be. Okay, interesting fact. Being the insecure little girl I am, the first thing I'm going to do when I walk into a set like this is to try to cover my tummy. You know, not to try to get everybody else to adapt to my insecurities, but it gave me a good starting point on where to start the sequence. So if you were doing a men's magazine, you'd be popping up your booty, creating this S-curve, and then making a lot of eye contact. But when it's geared towards women, when it's more editorial, you don't necessarily need that eye contact because they're looking at the product, not the model. So I'd flatten this down more, try to create a flat little butt, which is easy for me, not little but flat, and then no eye contact. This would be pose 1. You could flip it over, simple eye contact. 2. You could go up into the Sphinx. 3. You know, something extreme. 4. Get into a seated position. I'm doing this backwards for the camera. If you were doing it for the men's magazine, the glamour, you pop your breasts out, but I like to think of editorial as more broken down fashion, kind of lazy in the head. I'd break it down to something like this. 5. Extend your leg out to create long limbs. 6. And if I put my foot a little bit more towards the camera, whatever is closer to the camera is gonna look larger. So try to elongate your legs away, because nobody wants a big giant foot. I'd go back to sitting, something casual for 7. If you're gonna lean back, see I'm angling my body, you're gonna wanna make sure that your thigh is not flat on the ground. So like this for 8 would be good, but what would be better? 8. And then you can do some sitting up ones, although I'm scared the camera's gonna cut me off, so rather than prop myself up, I'm gonna just squat it awkwardly. You could go 9 and 10. Very simple, how to model lingerie in editorial poses.
Today's episode is brought to you by the letter U for unmentionables. Be advised, Jill Billingsley is a professional model and is not responsible for amateur photos, messy apartments, lost or stolen underwears, and or other unmentionables, or awkward roommate tensions while filming lingerie scenes in their bedrooms. Click the link below to purchase her book.